Now back to The Inside with John Grayson and Jennifer Blome. This hour presented by R&R Sanitation, where they want your stinking business. It's time to get it off your chest and tell the world what's bugging you. Ticked Off Tuesday on The Inside, John Grayson and Jennifer Blome.
11:24 the time. You know, Jennifer, it's tough to get into Ticked Off Tuesday when I got a really nice text from Mark over at Killer Vintage. Just raving over the Chris Robinson interview. Thank you, Mark. I enjoyed it. I mean, Chris is Rich Robinson. Boy, I screwed up. I shouldn't call him the brother that he hates.
Now get back to work. I mean, what are you doing listening to this show, Mark?
Yeah, right.
Now
yeah.
he might have been ticked off,
But,
and we'll text in at 84126.
Yeah, it could be, but no, he apparently really enjoyed that, and so did we, because Rich is he's an outstanding guy and an amazing player as well. But thank you very much for that, Mark. Now, on to business and Ticked Off Tuesday, and if you want to jump in with us and tell us what you're ticked off about, do that. 314-969-5877, or you can text in at 84126. And what about you, Jennifer? You got something to be ticked off about today?
Nope.
Oh, come on. You have to.
I was just reading that Nike story about Colin Kaepernick, and then I started reading the comments.
Uh-huh.
There are a lot of ticked off people.
Yes, there are. And this is one that, honestly, for me, even watching this story happen, it's more of a confused day Tuesday than it is a ticked off Tuesday, because I don't understand the response. What happened, if you haven't heard the story, is that Nike decided to put Colin Kaepernick's face on their new advertisements, and it's part of their newly revamped Just Do It campaign, and it has a slogan that's something along the lines of believe in something even if it means sacrificing everything. Because Colin Kaepernick did. He was the one who started the kneeling the kneeling demonstrations during the national anthem at the pro football games
2 years ago, and he hasn't been signed since.
Right. And he decided not to re-up his contract with the 49ers and go out and test the free agent market. And what he found out was nobody wanted to sign him. But
didn't I hear you guys say he wasn't very good?
Well, that was part of the argument, that he didn't have the stats that would necessarily get the kind of money that he thought he was going to get. But he didn't get any offers at all.
And he was a player who played in a Super Bowl. And so, I mean, that would give you something.
Right.
Usually.
But he also played in a gadget system. And,
I don't know what that is.
I'll explain that in a second. There are arguments to be made that maybe he just wasn't a saleable commodity in the NFL. He believes, and many people believe along with him, that he was blackballed.
And that case is going forward.
So he's suing the NFL, saying that they colluded, that all of the owners colluded to keep him out. Now, the gadget thing, he ran an offense in San Francisco that was based on a single style of play. Not to get too into the weeds on this, but it's a handoff that's it's designed to confuse the defense as to whether the quarterback is really handing the ball off or faking it, keeping it himself, and going the other direction. And he was very good in that system. He was never a great passer. He's a pretty good finesse passer, but he was never a great passer. So in a regular pro-style offense, he's not going to do terribly well in the NFL, which is, if you've got a team that's built around a certain offense and everybody's doing the same thing, and all of a sudden you put in a quarterback who runs an entirely different system and really only works well in that system, you have to then commit your entire team to running that style of offense. And it's a very difficult transition to make. Mm-hmm. So maybe that was part of it as well. But where we are now is that Colin Kaepernick Nike decided to put Colin Kaepernick's face out as the face of their new Just Do It campaign. And since they made that decision, because there's so much rancor still over the kneeling protests and arguments about whether it's right or wrong or whether it should be allowed or not, and even the owners can't come to any consensus on this, there are now people posting videos of themselves destroying their own Nike gear, shoes and T-shirts and socks and whatever. And the thing is, like I said, it's more of an object of confusion for me, because it's their stuff. They can do whatever they want with it. Mm-hmm. If they want to burn up all their Nike T-shirts, they can burn up all their Nike T-shirts. I just don't understand what that's supposed to accomplish, other than, look at me, I can do something jerky. It's almost like throwing a tantrum is...
Well, they want attention.
Is a substitute for protest. They're not protesting Nike because they're not doing anything that would in any way harm Nike. In fact, Nike is getting so many mentions. I mean, think about how many times we've said that word in the last 5
Now,
minutes.
if they stopped buying the products en masse, that might have an effect.
It might. And then again, I mean, Nike is one of the most popular brands out there, specifically with a crowd that is young enough that a fair size proportion of them are going to be on Colin Kaepernick's side. So the people that are saying, I'll never buy Nike again, probably haven't bought Nike in 30 years. So, it just seems pointless. And it seems like, well, I'll show them. And I don't think that's what protest is supposed to be. Like I said, it's their stuff. They can do whatever they want with it. But
I think they should donate it.
That's not a bad idea.
If you don't want to wear it or be seen in it anymore, donate it to the Salvation Army.
Right.
I think this certainly spells certain doom for Nike because it's been proven with similar protests by similar groups over the last couple of years. They closed down the Hamilton musical. There's no more Starbucks anymore. Keurig completely went out of business. Oh, no, wait, no.
Right. And the Keurig thing is another one. When they started smashing up Keurigs and putting up YouTube videos, and that lasted about a weekend.
And I forget why they were doing that.
So do I.
That's so wasteful.
Right. But, Keurig already has your money. They don't care what you do with the machine. If you want to paint the thing bright green and shoot it into space, you can do that. It's yours, but it just doesn't really accomplish anything. So, I sat all weekend very amused by watching all of this happen and thinking all this. If there is any real world effect, it is to draw even more attention to one of the most iconic brands in sportswear.
Mission accomplished for Nike.
There you go. Way to go, guys. Yeah, and that's the thing is the reason why you would do that. If you were part of their staff of marketing gurus and all of that, the reason why you would take a controversial figure like Colin Kaepernick in the first place is because that everybody is going to have something to say about it, and there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Right.
It doesn't matter what they say; it just matters that they get your name right.
Love it or love to hate it.
Yep. So with that, we'll go to the phones. And if you've got something to add in for Ticked Off Tuesday or Confused Day, if you want, if you're in the same boat I am, 314-969-5877, 314-969-KTRS. And we'll start with Mary. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Mary.
Hi. I don't know if this is a ticked off, but I'm kind of concerned about all the money our state spend on speed limit signs when I'm teaching a 15-year-old how to drive and nobody drives a speed limit.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know how many troopers you saw over the weekend out, but they were everywhere over Labor Day weekend. So maybe people were going a little bit slower. But you're right. They don't enforce it.
No. And it's hard to teach 15 and 16-year-olds to drive the speed limit when people are just on their butt.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
You got it.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Mary. Appreciate the call. To Marcus up next. Hello, Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Go figure this out. Walmart. Can I say Walmart on the air?
You just did. Twice.
I'm going to say it anyway. Hey, I bought a battery at Walmart 3 years ago.
And it just went out on them, apparently.
Manufactured on July 2015.
Okay, you got to back up, Marcus. We lost your phone there for a second. You bought a battery 3 years ago and what?
36 months free replacement. Okay. Guess what crapped out at 37 months? The battery.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So the only one they had left on the shelf that was identical to the one I had that would fit in this particular vehicle had been sitting on the shelf for already 14 months, and they still wanted to try to sell it to me.
Yeah, when you know what's going to happen at month number 37. So did you get any satisfaction out of them?
And they wanted me to get it prorated, and since I didn't want to buy like a gallon of milk that's sitting on the shelf for 2 weeks already, they suggested I go to another Walmart 25 miles down the road. And I was, okay. I know, so I ended up spending $180 on a Walmart on a battery at the local parts store.
You're better off at the local parts store. I'm sure they'll do you right if something goes wrong with it. Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, have a good one, buddy. And I've got something to say on that bait and switch part of that, too. We'll get to that in a second. First, though, let's find out what Joe has for us. Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, I'm ticked off, man. This Kaepernick guy can only pass the ball like 52% completion ratio. That's why he don't have a job. He's kind of a washed-up athlete. So why does Nike, who sell a shoe, promote a shoe for a guy who can't even play the game anymore? If anything, they should have put his name on knee pads. He's not using the shoes no more. He's using the knee pads. So they may have my money now, but they're not getting my money in the future. It's real simple.
I'm sure they'll miss you. I know they will. Now, back to the bait and switch thing. I went through this once with a TV not that long ago, where I had a TV and ponied up for the warranty, which I usually don't. But in this case, something about it said, you know what? It was the first real HD TV we bought. This goes back probably 8-9 years. And sure enough, about a year in, it just stopped working. So I took it back and I said, hey, this TV doesn't work anymore. And they said, oh, that's too bad. And I said, aha, I bought your warranty. And they said, okay. And the warranty said free replacement if this thing breaks within the first whatever, 4 years, 5 years. And I said, so I want it replaced. Because they said if you don't get the warranty, you'll have to pay to ship it all the way back to wherever it was made, Korea or someplace. And so you should really get the warranty. So I brought it back to them, and they said, well, we don't have one of those. I said, what do you mean? They said, well, we don't have that model anymore. That model's been replaced twice since you bought it. And I said, that is not my problem. Because
I'll take the upgrade.
Exactly. And they didn't want to do it. And there was one that was the exact same television, same size, same screen, same everything, but it had one more output than mine did. And I said, give me that one. That is the closest comparable you have. And they didn't want to do it. And it took me a good 3 hours of standing there saying, okay, then what are you going to do? Because their answer was initially nothing. And I said, so I bought a warranty for nothing. I gave you an extra $100 for nothing. And, well, yeah, kind of. I was like, that's not the answer I was looking for. But that is a frequent thing that they do now because, especially with electronics, those things, that model will be gone in a matter of weeks. So they know they're not going to be able to replace it, and they sell those stinking warranties anyway.
I've heard people say not to buy those warranties usually.
And that's why I usually don't. But even in that case, it was a hassle. And they called it the no-hassle warranty, which I found really, it's a bit of irony there. And all you're doing is hassling me on this. But, yeah, I would always advise against it. My dad's line on that is never pay to insure something you can pay to replace.
Never pay to insure something you can pay to replace.
Right. If you can buy another one and it won't hurt that bad, don't buy the insurance. Because most of the time you won't use it anyway. We'll do some
Unless
more
you're talking about a home.
Right. We'll do some more talking. Well, yeah, but who can pay to replace a home? That's the point. 314-969-5877, 84126 on the toll-free. We'll do some more talking with you just ahead. We'll get the traffic and weather in here as well. On the Big 550 KTRS, it's 1137.
John Grayson and Jennifer Blow.